What we do is that we help travelers explore attractions, museums, and cities through over 500, I think it is,
Wow.
self-guided audio tours in 29 countries.
Ah, cool.
But so we basically, the business model is that we have our own apps, of course, and we combine them usually, especially for attractions, along with entry tickets for their respective attraction, and we sell them a lot through online travel agencies, but
Okay.
also a few tour operators. This we have been doing since 2018. But a couple of years now, we have been developing white label solutions for tour operators to explore and exploit basically this kind of product under their own brand. So white label solutions, either through a web app or a plugin for their apps, if they're big enough and haven't already an app. So in this way, basically tour operators make more money. How is that? Because after the tour or within a multi-day or even a day trip, they have free time, travelers, so they can upsell another tour when, there's a gap between the guides and the activities.
So it helps with optimization of fill as well for the tours.
Yes.
That's very cool. Yeah, never really was, I'd never tried a audio tour before.
Oh,
just
really?
because, I don't know, I'm a little old school. I guess I like a person, I thought.
I fully agree with you. I've done both.
But it was a misconception for me. I didn't realize how much I would like it. And what happened was I was in the coast in in Spain or France. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I think it was in Costa Brava, and there were some Roman ruins on the coastline, and we just happened to go to the beach that day, and we saw the place. We're like, oh, we should check it out. So we went on the tour, but there were no English-speaking tour guides at that moment. So they had this device that you could basically hold up to your ear and go to different spots and hit a button. And it was a little old school.
It is a little,
but
it is.
What I loved about it was the narration was more dramatic and fitting for the setting. And the audio had sound effects and music that kind of added additional element of mood. And I could do it at my own pace. I could stay in one spot and listen to the whole thing. I could skip. I could go to the next thing. And actually really ended up loving it. So I haven't done it again since, but I feel like I need to be more embracing of doing both.
I mean, it doesn't. If you have the ability to have a guide, definitely get the guide.
Mm-hmm.
But in some cases, to be honest, guides are very expensive, especially for very big sites.
Yep.
Because within the site, first of all, low availability. Second of all, the guides need to be licensed in order for you to get in with them. So the costs are, rising a lot. In any case, it depends. I mean, a lot of tour operators themselves have asked me this kind of capability because the guides were non-existent or very hard to find. So, or very expensive for their audiences. So, I mean, you can have multiple implementations of how audio tours could, strengthen maybe your packages. But in any case, to be honest, so, Douglas was always saying about the tour takers and the non-tour takers. So 51%, I think, it might be less now, it might be less, percent of all Americans are non-tour takers. So basically, you kind of reach out to them with this kind of product, right?
Yeah, because it's a way for them to go on a tour without feeling like they're actually on a tour, which is kind of me too. I don't usually go for a tour unless it's part of or almost required.
Exactly.
I'll do it more as an add-on or so, or if I have to. Yeah, that's the idea.
That's the whole idea. I mean,
We're
myself.
self-explorers as Americans. We think we know everything.
But even the Greeks, who are a bit, yes, I don't want to go there. I want to be I want to choose. But even for myself, when I went to Oxford, let's say, I was there for a day and I said, no, I have to. This is the Harry Potter thing. I have to do the Harry Potter thing. So I took a tour right then and there. I found a tour, I booked it, I had an amazing time. I mean, it doesn't even start, it's so worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my perceptions have been very much changed from coming to this conference. So on that note, we are here at Arrival San Diego. First time, veteran? How many times have you been?
Oh, veteran for sure.
Oh, okay.
Since 2018, I've been
Wow.
coming every year.
Wow, okay.
Every
Very cool.
year, and to be honest, both Europe and the US.
Okay, so you go to all of them.
Yeah, I do. I love
That's smart. I mean, it's a great community. I've had a really amazing time here. So tell me, what was the main thing that you were looking to achieve this year? What was the intention that you came to Arrival with this year?
basically to work more with tour operators. And I don't mean because we are we have an extensive collaboration with OTAs, but I think tour operators need to enhance their products as well, differentiate, have more margins. Margins are so difficult these days,
Yeah.
and I've been hearing that a lot, for myself included, right?
Sure.
So definitely, here was a way to communicate with more tour operators, get feedback, because those new implementations, they need to be, assessed.
Yeah.
Even as an idea, I mean.
Right.
But thankfully this year, we already have clients using those tools, so we have, data, and it's good that we had the opportunity to show it to more tour operators and see if they would be interested.
Got it.
We have an extensive portfolio in the US and Europe, a little bit of Asia, developing stuff there as well. So that's why we wanted to be here and make more connections. I think that especially the feedback part plays a very huge role for me.
For product development.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also sales, of course, but also for product development.
I love that. So talk a little bit about how you guys market your products. Would you consider yourself a B2B company, a B2C, a B2B2C? How do you guys focus more on direct to consumer or more on partnerships?
More definitely partnerships. Okay. So the ticket and audio package is a B2C product. I mean, a product ready-made to sell.
Anybody can grab it from your channels that already exist.
Exactly, from the OTAs and of course our website and our apps. But mainly, to be honest, let's face it, OTAs have the market in the online part. But then definitely we are growing the B2B part, and we are much more interested in that, to be honest. It is most important that we build these partnerships to have a product as a service, tech-enabled service, whatever you want to call it. It makes more sense for us, definitely, and I hope really that we can actually help tour operators in this way.
I love that. So for marketing on the B2C side, what is the best performing channel for you guys?
That's interesting, because you know what? They don't really. They don't really. When there's OTAs in the space, it's really hard,
Yeah.
I think that
OTA is they are good at hoovering up a lot of the demand that's already out there, right? Because they've got the relationships with the platforms, they've got bigger budgets, they've got the expertise.
Because we used Google Things to do, especially for attractions, supposedly this could work. It didn't. We have a few campaigns running, like local-based campaigns. These are kind of working, but after a while, you see, you either have to build a lot on the website and the conversion and especially the website, when we have all of this tech stack going on the side for the B2B. Always the B2C comes, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. If the customer asks this, so we need to build it.
Today,
it's always, priorities.
Sure. Well, I think about, my own experience, and I feel like context generally is king when you think about channels. If I were going to market in your shoes, I think I would target audio podcasts, because at the end of the day, a audio tour is invisible. You can't see it, but you can hear it.
That's true.
And there are a lot of people out there in the world listening to podcasts. Listened to one on my way in this morning for 35 minutes in the car.
Nice.
I never watch that podcast, even though it's available in video.
Exactly.
I only listen to it. Especially, I know a lot of people love travel podcasts and travel shows, and they follow travel influencers that also have their podcasts. So if you could interrupt those moments with your messaging in an audio format where they're already listening to things about the context in which they want to travel, but you give them a taste of it, give them a taste of a little highlight of, a particular highlight from a tour where it sounds really, really cool. And that could even be a lead gen into driving trips as well.
That's actually a very great idea.
Well, just a freebie.
Well, thank you, Dylan. That was very nice.
My pleasure. Well, awesome. Well, hey, this has been really great to sit down with you, Daphne, and learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing. You piqued my interest. I'm going to continue to experiment with audio tours, and try and fill some of the gaps, like you said, and be open-minded. Anywhere you would like to point the listeners to learn more about Clio Muse Tours, but also how to connect with you professionally?
Oh, sure. I'm, of course, on LinkedIn, but also we have our website. They can contact us through the emails that are there, or sales@cliomustetours.com. So,
beautiful.
so that we can chat. Me, myself, receive that email, so no worries.
Perfect,
Me and my
perfect.
colleagues, of
Nice,
course.
I love it. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of your time here in California.
Thanks
Welcome,
a lot.
and thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Dylan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.